Yo, let me stop playing. What's good, y'all? Welcome back to Scorpio Chronicles. As you can see, I'm finally out of my little funk. I was going through a retrograde, but that just goes to show you, like, this is like my dear diary. This is like, hey y'all, come on this healing, self-identifying evolution ascension journey with me. So yeah, y'all gonna see me when I'm good, and y'all gonna see me before the good and the in between. But anyways, welcome back to Scorpio Chronicles. I know I've been gone for so long, my bad y'all, but we all going through things. Life is crazy right now. I have not been on Instagram like that, and every time I do go on Instagram, I just notice like the toxicity, like what is happening. So yeah, I be in and out. If you see me active, it's a lie. I'm in and out. I just wanted to briefly let y'all know that it's super important to go with the tide right now. That doesn't mean just go with what everyone else is doing and what everything's saying. What I mean is, like, energy wise, anything that you resist will persist. Right now, time is a complete illusion. And time was always a man-made thing just to help us navigate life in a certain way. But as you all can feel, see, sense, and touch, we're moving into a whole new world, a whole new state of being. There's so much information that's coming out right now, and some of it surprises me and some of it doesn't. And it's just like, I really feel for the people who are just on the brink of losing their mind, because I was just in that energy. But that being said, even if you're in that energy, it's important for you to recognize, like, okay, this is the type of vibe that I'm in. I feel very anxious, or I feel on edge, or I feel very paranoid. Your body is giving you those signals to let you know that, hey, just shift your frequency. Just think about something positive. Do something positive that's going to get you in a direction of things that you do want. What's really going on right now is we are manifesting so fucking fast, mad different stuff. That's why you have to pay attention to where your energy is going. I know for me personally, these past few weeks, my energy was going towards negativity. And even though I'm a positive person and I preach positivity all day, every day on this channel, you already know the vibes. Even though that's so, I had to realize, like, at the end of the day, my thoughts, my beliefs are the key ingredient of what's manifesting around me. It happened to me a week ago, but it's now 2 weeks later and it's still bothering me like it just happened yesterday. That means I'm giving that situation too much energy, which is taken away from more conducive and more, beneficial energy that I could be given towards other things that are actually going to bring me what I want, that is actually going to bring me a sense of happiness and ease. So, I really realized that, and I wasn't trying to speed up the process because I knew it was just something uncomfortable that I was going to have to go through. I feel like we all have this perception of our best selves. That's the one that's responsible. That's the one that doesn't hold grudges. That's the one that's not petty. That's the one that's financially free. That's the one that's lit, yada, 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 yada. And I'm realizing that in the process of stepping into that perception, that knowing that we just have in our heart, like, all right, despite what my parents or my family or my friends or my boss or my teacher is telling me, this is what I really feel. This is what I really want to do. And even if the only reason you want to do it is just because it's something you want to do, I want to let you know, go for it. Go for it. Go for it. Right now, we are all stepping into the unknown. So I understand how frightening it could be, because I've been battling myself for weeks. Just like, the part of me that's in alignment with my highest good, my highest self, is fighting like my lower self, or not lower self, but my shadow self, because they're both equal. No one is really greater than the other. You have your shadow side, which is really our primal instincts. That's, our survival mechanism, basically. That's the version of us as children growing up and realizing, okay, I can't express myself because this is the reaction I get, or I can't feel this way, or I can't believe in this because my parents believe in this, or my whole family believe. All of those things are your shadow self. And your shadow self really does play an important role. And as we all have experienced, our shadows have been getting the best of us during retrograde. But I want you to understand that God is not punishing you. We're not being punished for anything. What we're going through is a purge, a very big spiritual, mental, physical purge. A lot of us are breaking out of this notion that we can only fit in a box. Me, for one, I've never wanted to be in the box. And anytime I tried to fit in the box, it just didn't feel good to me. And when you're not doing things that really make you feel good, no matter how big or small, as long as you ain't hurting nobody, but it just makes you happy, as long as you're doing everything except for the thing that makes you happy, you're gonna be miserable. And it's like you're gonna keep repeating the same cycle with different people, but similar energy, because the only reason we repeat cycles is because there's something that we refuse to acknowledge about the original cycle. And until we are in a space where we can acknowledge certain things, you're going to keep repeating it. So I think my biggest intention was to finish up an old cycle, which I feel like I am doing. And all I can say is it's painful. I told y'all before, like, changing, healing, evolving, ascending, it is such a painful thing, but it's necessary. And as painful as it is, I promise you, if we just work through it, not like rush through the problems, because then you're just going to get the cycle again. Really sit there and deal with it. Acknowledge those things that you don't want to say out loud. Acknowledge the role that you played in each situation, and forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. Like, I think that was a major key point that I was having to learn, was forgiving that past version of me. And not only that, but letting go of the past. I'm a whole Scorpio, so we could hold a grudge forever. But honestly, it doesn't serve me any good, and it's holding me back. So do what resonates with you. But we are in a space where we really have to be honest with ourselves. And the minute we can be honest with ourselves, we can acknowledge things. As soon as we acknowledge things, we can release it. Once we release it, we have all this extra room for all the things that we actually do want to be and experience, and places where we want to go and people we want to meet. But you can't have both. You gotta sacrifice something in order to get something better. And I think a lot of us are having a hard time letting go of the notion that the world is not the same, letting go that maybe certain relationships aren't the same, letting go that maybe your career you've been doing is not the same. Maybe you want to do something completely fucking different that people would just look at you and be like, why the fuck are you doing that? That's not normal. Ladies and gentlemen, you create your normal, and your normal is not going to be somebody else's normal. We have the masses who have some type of norm, but a lot of us are stepping out of the matrix, out the masses, and we're trying to find our own individuality and meet other people who are doing the same thing. Because when you step out of your comfort zone and you start doing things that you basically never seen anyone around you do, but you, for whatever reason, have that vision to do it, it's going to feel lonely. Sometimes you're gonna second guess yourself, like, did I make the right decision cutting this situation out my life? Listen, you just know when you know, because you know when it's your time to evolve, when it's time to move on from something. It's like a nudge within you. For me, I feel like the last couple of weeks I've been getting a nonstop nudge, and it's so uncomfortable, but honestly, I feel way better today than I felt for the past 2 weeks. And retrograde went back direct, thank God. But honestly, just really be patient with yourself. Understand that your physical body, your spiritual body, your mental body, it's growing. Just like when we're growing, as we grow from babies into adults, sometimes we may not always feel the pains of growing, but in other ways we do. when we realize we can't get away with certain things anymore because now we know better, or we're expected to know better, you know, stuff like that. But I just really want everyone to understand that all the pain and confusion and anxiety, you know, all of that is there to show you, like, okay, I'm clearly transitioning into something. And the goal is to always transition into something better, more higher ideals for you, you know, whatever it is. The goal is to go forward and not backwards. And even if it may seem on the outside that you're going backwards, just take that lesson and understand, like, you know what, there's something here that I need to pay more attention to. So let me just figure it out and I'll move accordingly. That way, when you're done with cycles, you're just done. You're just done. And I feel like I'm approaching the end, or it's done already. Like, it's one thing to, at least for me, I feel like for the past 10 years of my life, I've seen a version of myself that was bigger than even the idea that I came up with back then. And even though I've been going through it lately, it's like the more I do what really makes me feel good, I can feel myself stepping into that version of me that I had an idea. I feel like it's something you'll actually be able to notice. The goal is just not to get comfortable, which I constantly have to tell myself all the time. That same passion and drive that you have, you should always hone that and multiply it and use it. And even bad situations that happen, find a way to transmute that energy instead of just, and which is hard because you know when somebody do you crazy, but instead of having a victim mentality, we really got to work hard and be like, you know what, they held up their soul contract deal because their job was to teach me certain lesson or cause me to feel some type of way, so that I can now go within myself and process as to why that resonates or doesn't resonate with me. Why does that feel good or it doesn't feel good with me? And then when you realize that everything is really just kind of about you, not so much what people do to you, what they say to you, what, you know, just you, what you think. Once you realize how important that is, you'll start to get answers from yourself. Like, you know, yeah, they did XYZ, but really this is triggering you because in the past you never spoke your truth. So now, you know, moving forward in the future, no matter what, you should always speak your truth. Not everybody gonna like it, but you gotta do what feels right for you. And what feels right for you may be right for someone else or not. I really want to let y'all know that I really do appreciate you rocking with me. I know y'all probably be looking at my videos like, sis is bipolar. I'm really not. I'm just a very sensitive and intense person. Like, I'm an empath, so I really do feel things. But yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you learned something from this. I'll be back to posting regular videos, I promise. To my next video, y'all. Peace.